Hi, I'm Hannah from Oscha Slings, and these are my top 10 ring sling tips for getting the perfect carry every time. Number 1. Prepare the pouch for your baby. So by this we mean preparing a perfect pouch for your little one. So you want to make sure that your bottom rail, this dark blue rail here, is a little bit tighter, just enough room for their legs to fit through. And the top of the sling, the top rail, this light blue rail, you want to have a bit extra so that you have the perfect shape for your baby. And the size of your pouch will be determined by how old and big or small your little one is. The next tip is to move your rings up onto your shoulder before you get your baby and pull all that fabric down into a rope around your hip there. Tip number 3 is to go underneath that rope of the fabric, the rope pass, to gather their toes in together and slide them through the sling. Tip number 4 is making sure that they have a deep seat. So by this we mean to pop their bottom right over that rope pass, and so you've got this lovely deep seat, this lovely deep M position, and that's the most ergonomic position for your baby to sit in, so it's going to be really comfortable for them, but it also helps to keep the ring sling in place. Tip number 5, make sure that those rings are still on your shoulder. If they have fallen down a little bit through putting your baby into the sling, now is the time to grab that fabric, support your baby under the bottom and jiggle that fabric up onto the top of your shoulder again. Number 6, take the fabric from the back. So take that top part of the fabric from underneath your armpit, and you can use that to find and locate your top rail. So at this point you only want to take up the top of the fabric, so remember that's the light blue one on this sling, and you can see by going around the back it's much easier to take that top part of the fabric and you won't mistake it for the bottom, and you can make sure there's no twisting there. And I'm going to guide the fabric all the way up to the back of my baby's head. Tip number 7 is to gather the excess fabric all the way to the rings before tightening them through. So you gather all of that fabric over, and then swapping hands for support, you then guide all of that fabric all the way through the rings, and you can see it tightening up there nice and neatly, and then we can just pull all that down, and that way you're not going to change the position of the ring sling by kind of yanking the fabric all the way across. You're going to make sure that you have a lovely nice tension around the back of baby's neck where it's not too tight, and you're going to be a lot more in control of how much fabric you're pulling through when you're pulling it. Number 8 in my tips is all about tightening. So the first tightening tip, if you're struggling to pull the fabric through the rings, is to lift baby under bottom a little bit as you pull through. Now my ring sling is pretty well tightened, so there's nothing much to come back through, but if you had a slightly thicker ring sling or it was a little bit more difficult to tighten, maybe it hasn't broken in yet, then you can just lift under and through. The second tightening tip is if you are still struggling pulling the fabric through, you can go in an upwards motion first. So you could go up and over and down, up, over and down, again lifting under baby's bottom. And that way you get a really nice fit. And particularly if you're using a thick sling, a heavy sling, then that can be a really nice tip for you. Last but not least is all about your comfort. So once you finish tightening your sling, you just want to make sure that you're pulling any fabric away from your neck there over your shoulder, and that way you'll have a lovely, comfortable carry. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have, do like and subscribe so that other people can find us. Come and join us on our Clan Oscha Facebook page where you can chat with Oscha staff and customers too. We help each other out with tips and tricks, and we also chat all things Oscha and baby rearing. If you're still needing help with your Oscha sling, please do message us on Facebook or Instagram. You can also email us, or you can ask in our Facebook community group Clan Oscha. Thank you. Bye bye.